And we are live. What's up, fight fans? This is Curtiville with Counterpunch Boxing News. And I apologize, I'm supposed to started about 9 hours early or 9 minutes earlier. But I'm having technical difficulties to go figure, so here we are. But we are here. So I'm actually deleting the first attempt. Something's wrong with my laptop, guys. But hit that like button as you guys come in. We are live now. We have 3 on the chat. Can I get 3 likes? Have many people come in? We got a lot to discuss. A lot of things have taken place. A lot of things have been said, and we're here to talk all about it. You know, I was going to do this yesterday, in fact, but I didn't have time because, I had to talk to Mr. Teofimo Lopez Sr., and that pretty much tied up most of the day along with other personal things. So, here we are to talk about this particular issue. Late tubers, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Chris Turbo, excited for the Teofimo versus Loma. I am, and I'm glad I got the interview because I wanted some feedback on this for you guys to see what and how Teofimo Lopez and Senior are feeling, and they're ecstatic, according to his father. So it looks really good. I'm excited about it. A lot of people think that Teofimo has a shot to knock him out, and in fact, he does. Everyone has a shot to knock anyone out when they lace on some gloves, especially if someone with some thumping power like Lopez. Okay, so the guy, he's only 15-0 with 12 KOs, so that should tell you something. That he's stepping way up in class. He did knock out Comey on a shot, on a vicious shot. If he can hit Loma with that, Loma's been hit before. It's not like he can't be hit. Okay, so it's going to be a good fight. It's going to be a very, very good fight. You guys hit that like button when you come in, and it notifies other people that the live chat, especially after I was going to do this on my laptop where everything happens, but I don't know what's going on with it, some kind of software issue. So I had to go in other means. So, but the show must go on. You guys hit that like button. Yesterday rose a lot of eyebrows, man. Many sources. It's not just one, not just a mirror, not just WBN, but many sources have said this fight's off. So the question is, where did the info come from? That's the question. If it's a rumor, where did the rumor come from? So it's one of those things, man, where I feel that these guys need to get together, and the bad part about Wilder and Fury is that these guys don't really have a personal relationship. They don't have a cordial communication. Okay, I think Wilder blocked him a while ago, and that's a bad sign. Maybe, you know, because we don't know, because these guys aren't even talking to each other. But according to Tyson Fury, that he was blocked. He wanted to talk to Wilder, and Wilder blocked him. But he does think he was in the same situation as Wilder, but I don't agree with that, and I'm gonna explain why. Let's see. Is there a reason you don't play the video of some of the sources you quote in relations to a particular video? Some, is it Mitchell, Balzan? Sometimes, some of the sources. Okay, when I get sources, I don't know about other people, but when I get sources for a particular thing, some of it is hush hush. Some of those sources are confidential on where they came from. Okay, so a lot of people send me stuff, and it's kind of behind the scenes or something that's really not, out there. So you really just don't bring it up. But then some of them are, you can just look it up. It's not the fact that, you don't. The only time I really put sources these days, I'll put sources on a particular article. But if I'm reading you the article, I'm already giving homage to where the article's from. So it's not like I'm saying, hey, I read an article with no name. I'm going to read you the article or where it came from. Okay. And a lot of times nowadays when I do, it's to let you guys see the full video of that article. So that source had to be a video that contained a video. And I put that so you guys can enjoy the whole video if you wanted to look at it, to give you an option that way. Water needs to grow a pair and speak up. You know what, like tubers, ain't that the same thing that Tyson Fury said about Anthony Joshua? Y'all go on mute. DJ Lokes Mix. What's up, brother? Thank you for the show. No problem. Fair enough. Just wondering as well. Keep up the good work. I like to see Triple G back at the top. Martin, I like to see Triple G just be all Triple G can be, because the last few years, fights with Steve Rose, him splitting with Abel Sanchez, the fights go back further, 16, 15. Nobody wanted to fight that guy, right? But then all of a sudden, everybody wanted to fight that guy. Then that guy doesn't want to fight anybody. So it's not a good look for Triple G. So to see Triple G on top, he's going to have to start beating guys like Jamal Charlo. Do you understand what type of money I would pay to see that fight live? I mean, even with the 38-year-old Golovkin, he ain't still to this day. He's never been dropped. He's never been to the camp. He's been hurt by the same guy that Jamal just recently beat, Derenchenko, right? I mean, he was visibly hurt for the first time. So I would love to see Golovkin take on Jamal Charlo. And that's the fight that didn't happen. That's the fight he didn't want. And I'm like, okay, you can't blame Jamal Charlo or the Charlos or PBC or Al Heyman when Golovkin himself, I don't want him to be a good boy. No him. I don't want him to be big. I don't know him. You should know him. He is now a champ. You should want to be a champ. The belt you had is the belt that he has now. Counterpunch. That's just easy. I mean, but for him to be on top, he has to be hungry, and I don't think he's hungry. I think he got that contract. I think he was trying to make up for a lot of the times and the things that he's been through in his career, the shitty management. He really reminds me more of Wilder with the management. Okay, had a lot of knockouts, a lot of people, and he wanted to fight a lot of people though, but who says Wilder didn't? Maybe his manager or the management of both parties, of both fighters, were just shitty. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, if you can't deliver or you don't want to deliver for a particular reason, there's a reason why normally. Ego is the only channel speaking about what? I don't know what's... and I don't know. Maybe other channels are busy doing whatever they make that makes their channel money. So it's all about BS at the end of the day. Do you think Wilder took duck money so AJ can go ahead? I don't know. I would like to see him speak because see at this point it does not. This isn't about a rumor. This isn't about saying that a group of people are lying. It's not. It's bigger than that at this point. Wilder needs to come forth to explain, like, yo, the contract, the clause that you activated, is that still in fact? Is that still in effect? I mean, Shelly Finkel has said a lot of things, and that's the manager, and what he says should go is cash value, but that's not lining up with what the other side's saying. So the problem is, Deontay Wilder needs to come up and come forth and say, hey, yes, my manager has spoken, but let me speak. Let me speak to my fans. Let me speak to the people, the lovers, the haters. Let me speak to whoever needs to hear this. The fight is going to happen. Tyson Fury shouldn't run. He shouldn't run his mouth. He ain't fighting nobody else but me. We're going to make this fight happen. That's what Wilder should do at this point. He shouldn't stay quiet, because when you stay quiet, people assume any and everything. You guys understand what I'm saying? Wilder's too quiet for his own good. At this point, there's an angle. Where's the angle, people? The angle is, oh, Tyson Fury saying, oh, if you don't fight me this year, there's no fight. After already knowing a couple months ago, or maybe a month and a half ago, that Tyson Fury, that Bob Arum said that the fight might be pushed to 2021. That was a couple months ago. So why are you now just saying, hey, if you don't fight me this month, it's not going to be a fight? See, Wilder could come with that angle like, yo, you're not getting out of this fight. No. And I'm letting everyone know that I think you're trying to get out of this fight. You know what I mean? That's how you should do it. I mean, and I would come forth now like, look, this fight's going to happen. You're not getting out of this fight. Every dog has its day or whatever. And that day was February 22nd. But a new day is to come. We will rise again. That was what should be being said right now from Wilder. And here's the thing. When someone says and stays silent for so long, I mean a long period of time, people are desperately wanting to know what's up with you. And then when you finally give them what they're looking for, they explode. Okay? They explode. Hi, mate. I just got home from work and saw you were on. Had to watch the stream. A big counterpunch from the UAE. Counterpunch to you, Nadeem. Thank you, brother, for watching. Martin Robert. Yes, you are right. No sense in the trilogy. I don't see Wilder being able to win outside of Punch's chance. Looking forward to AJ Fury once he gets through Pulev. Dominic, let me say this, though, to be fair. How many people doubted Joshua to beat Ruiz in the rematch? I mean, right off the top of your head, I mean, I know a few people. I didn't doubt him. I did not doubt him. I know he had to change his game plan, but I didn't doubt him. But I know Joshua's no Wilder. I know that. Or should I say Wilder's no Joshua? But to say, oh, well, he has no chance. We've heard this before. History, again, repeats itself. With, you know what I mean, in Wilder, Joshua got it. Now Wilder got it. They all getting it. Fury's going to get it. Unless he pulls the Mayweather route and he starts fighting people, Joe Blow and Low Blow and, you know, and the dude that drives the Uber though, all those guys. If he starts doing that shit again, he will probably stay undefeated. You know, and if he figured out the Mayweather strategy of making money off that you will never see Tyson. You might see Anthony Joshua and him probably 2 years from now. Because they're gonna milk that. They're gonna make sure that particular fight is blown up, built up, just like the Joshua Wilder. Remember what happened with that? They both lost. They both lost, but eventually that fight lose steam because Tyson Fury came to steal where Deontay Wilder was at, and that's exactly what he did. Tyson Fury robbed Wilder. You guys understand what I'm saying? He robbed him of his position. He robbed that man. He knew where Deontay Wilder. Why do you think he just all of a sudden came back in 2018? He wanted to be where Wilder was at. He seen the money getting thrown around, tossed around, right? Tyson Fury's been out of the ring for 3 years. He ain't had a payday in a minute. And he knows all that shit is more than what he got for the first Wilder fight. Counterpunch. He knew he wanted that. Why do you think both of those guys, they were fighting each other? Okay, imagine this, 2018. Let's go back. A couple years, right? No mask and all that shit. And these guys they agreed to fight. Fury called out Wilder. Wilder gladly accepted. They tried to build the fight, but what was the one thing that both of them had in common? They both had everything to say about Anthony Joshua. Joshua this, Joshua that. Anthony Joshua, Anthony Joshua. Let me tell you something about Anthony Joshua. Compared to Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua ain't shit. He beat Andy Ruiz's ass. He did beat Andy Ruiz's ass. But they both talked about the same thing. Joshua. So they used Joshua to sell the fight. That was not the fight that people wanted to see. Fury just popped out of nowhere saying that I cherry picked Deontay Wilder, when in fact Wilder and his team thought we cherry picked him. So it's spy versus spy. But the thing was, it wasn't we're trying to fight each other. And then at some point, when after the first fight, when Tyson Fury proved to be an opponent that won't fold or break, Wilder decided, you know what? This is my true rival. Fuck Joshua. Fuck Eddie Hearn and all those guys over there. I didn't like them anyway. That's the fact. That's why all those particular contracts that were sent from Matchroom were all just really ignored or discarded. Right? And then the $50 million shit that had no expiration date on it. But then they offered this man a whole bunch of money and all this, that, and the other. And what happened? He didn't fight him because in Wilder's mind, hey, look, I don't need to fight Joshua because I've never been in my career. Why would I waste my time fighting Anthony Joshua? I could lose that fucking fight. And then what the irony of that was, I believe he was like, you know what? Fuck that money. I can make more money on my side. I don't like anything about any of those guys. I don't like the Zone. I don't like Eddie Hearn. I don't like Matchroom. Right? That was his, or that is to this day still his rival or someone that he doesn't like. Right? So he chased Fury and chased Fury and chased Fury. Why? Meanwhile, Fury fucking, he signed a 80 million pounds? Something like that with ESPN. And then called him a big Dawson and said, hey, yeah, get your game up. Get your profile up. I got these duckies now. I'm not worried about you right now. And then everything changed. Then Joshua gets beat. These things happen in the sport of boxing. Deontay Wilder gets happy because he's like, ooh, this is my opportunity. Andy Ruiz he rose to power. Right? Got drunk, got fatter, and lost all of it. Now Deontay Wilder was mad. Okay? Now we have a second fight with these guys. He's fighting a guy that he knew, well, hey, I can deal with Tyson Fury. He can't punch. What happened? He got stopped by the guy that couldn't punch. Now all the other shit happened with all the other rumors. I don't think it's just too draining. But to give you guys the backstory on up to now, okay, the fight that everybody wants to see is Joshua Fury. So Fury has to get past Wilder. Now, to say all that, to say this, that would be the fight. And mark my words, that would be the fight that would probably be the most difficult to win. And the same thing for Joshua, just because it's just how shit works. You have that one more thing to do and it might seem impossible to do. It happens all the time, people. Trust me, it does. All you got to do is fight Pulev. Pulev might come in the shape of his fucking life. You know? Hey, all you got to do is beat Wilder on the third fight. Fucking Wilder might learn to actually pay attention to the people that's trying to teach him to box. Oh, I do remember that. You did say that, didn't you? Mark said that shit. I just didn't do it. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. But yeah. That's what I think about that, Dominique. You know, I hope that answered your question. Damn, I knew Wilder would or did hurt himself. He throws the most crazy hard punches that don't land. You know what, Evan? You know, that's a very good counterpunch. Counterpunch to Evan. Because Wilder does throw punches, and it's not the punches he hits you with. It's probably the punches that he missed you with that, you know, and he throws them, and the way he throws, okay, look at the fight, look at the punch that he hit Brazil with. He cocked that mother, I mean, and he chunked it. You know, it didn't have a snap on it. It was almost like a forced, awkward thrust, right? It landed, and look, Brazil never felt nothing that hard. The man has power. Now, his delivery system, the way he delivers it, is unorthodox, though effective. However, reckless. Why? Because he's had too many injuries. He's just had too many. All right? But, you know, fair play, because you could say the same thing about Usyk, and he's one of the most technical guys out there. You could say that to be fair. You know what I'm saying? But Wilder, seeing his technique, seeing the things that he does in the ring, you know, which is very limited, but the way he throws those punches and he misses, yeah, that could tear some shit because he's throwing them too hard. Wilder doesn't, okay, understand this, Wilder does not waste shots. So every punch that Wilder throws, it's going to have something behind it, if not everything he has. You know what I mean? The power, the bloodline, the genetics, the ancestors, they're all coming with that right hand. That same punch that hit Pacquiao with Juan Manuel Marquez hit Pacquiao with, that shit too. It had that in it too. But he throws it. But if he misses, it might go, he might tear some shit. He's putting too much velocity behind it. What are the chances do you give Usyk at heavyweight? I give him a very good chance. People, I think, this is what I think, people. I think, yes, we have big heavyweights, but can these big heavyweights be beat? Yes. Andy Ruiz beat Anthony Joshua. He ain't but 6 foot tall, if not 5'11". He ain't that tall. He ain't 6'2". I'm 6'2". I'm taller than that man. Okay? He beat Joshua. Upward. Bip, bip, bip. It can happen. It's proven time and time again. The question you ask yourself, what would Ali do with these tall, big heavyweights of today? Use his speed, his size, stay the hell away from him, just like Ali did Liston or Foreman. I know Foreman wasn't as tall, but the man hit like a fucking tank. Body and head. Body and head. Okay? So, yes, I give him a very high chance. People underestimate, well, they're just looking at it, well, I don't think that he can deal with these big guys. Look, if you use what you have, your attributes, your skill, your size, is probably for the best. And I mean, he's not the shortest dude, though. You know, he's like 6'4", I think. He's taller than Chisora. Chisora's 6'2". You know, everybody's just trying to just count him out because he's small. The dude has fought in heavyweight before. He knows how to punch. You know, and it ain't the punches you have to worry about that has all the velocity behind it or the firepower. It's the punches that you don't see. You know, that angle, he comes in, he keeps weaving over, and then you throw something, just throw something at him to see where he at, and he counters you, and you don't see it. Yeah, it might stun you, and especially if he hits you with 3 or 4 more. Get stunned with a punch. And then hit with 3 other punches that you don't see or you don't expect to be hit with. Float like a butterfly, sting like a dragonfly. Okay, that's what Usyk I think will do. You know, but we will see. But I give him a high chance, a very high chance. Absolution, what's up, brother? I see you're stepping up your game. Man, I'm trying. It's time. It's definitely time. DJ Rango, do you think Wilder will fight high-level opposition if he gets knocked out by Fury again? I don't know. I don't know, but I hope so. But here's the thing. Let's really be honest about it. If Wilder loses again, everybody will expect him to be exactly what they thought he was, especially the people that just didn't say yes to him all the time or agreed with him or just sided with him. People will assume that. People will assume that, you know what? He was a bum anyway. When he did step up, he got problems. He received problems, even from a pillow puncher, even from a guy that's been out of the ring for a while. He won't be that guy. Okay? So it won't be a surprise to me if they decide to, hey, maybe it was a mistake bringing Wilder into this particular fight so soon, and since we've made that mistake, let's bring him back a couple notches and have him fight somebody like Adam Kalnaki. You know what I'm saying? See what he does with that particular guy. If he loses that fight, he's probably done because there's no sense of fighting someone like shit Usyk or someone else. Maybe the Nordic Nightmare. Hellenius, somebody like that. That would be good for Wilder. You know, but I don't think it would be someone drastic like those guys across the pond. I don't think that would be, but we'll see. Wilder's a broken man now. He doesn't want to leave it too long before he gets back into the ring. Best way to recover from his loss is get back in the ring and not with Fury. Bobby, I think that he had no choice. That's a logical response, Bobby, but at the same, that's not a realistic one. And there's a difference. What's best for Wilder is probably, hey, maybe he's broken, but we don't know how he is. He's too damn quiet, so we don't know how he is. He hasn't really spoke a lot. People are saying, well, he has dents in his head and stuff like that. So, I mean, in that case, he shouldn't fucking be fighting. So, and that's just really trying to amplify how tough he is. You know what I mean? I think a lot of things were said about Wilder to just prove, hey, his heart and how tough he is or was or whatever. My best boxer of all time is Nigel Benton, Martin. Good for you. I don't have a best. I just have fighters I like because I respect certain fighters and their skill set based on, who they fought. That's all the difference in the world. Keep up coming, Kurt. You got me through this quarantine waiting my master thesis with Counterpunch in the background. All the love and respect from Limerick, Ireland, home of Andy Lee. Adrian, thank you, man. Counterpunch to you. And Andy Lee was no slouch. He had a hard right hook that could put your lights out. Ask a lot of people. I was surprised that he was beat by Billy Joe the way he was. I was very surprised. Mike Tyson can't wait. Yep, he's coming back into the ring, him and Roy. Roy Double J. Wilder's been pleading the fifth since that whooping. That Waz whooping. I like that, Waz whooping. He said a few things, but not enough. Not enough to really keep people up to date. I think it's just, I don't know if it's strategy. The only saving grace is what he says when he does say something. Make something matter. Make it mean something, and if that's the case. See, here's the thing. If Wilder comes back to the spotlight and he gets on one of these and he starts talking about what he's going to do and, how it's going to be, and then he doesn't address anything else. We can look at that two ways. For one, you didn't want to address something because you didn't want you didn't want to disagree with other people. It's almost like this. Now, this is a touchy comparison. That's almost like our president, Donald Trump, not trying to condemn white supremacists. See, if he doesn't address Glovegate and how he feels about Glovegate, that means what people said about him, he's either ignoring for whatever reason or allowing it to be said for whatever reason. And he's not addressing it, and he should address it, But in this point, the fight itself should be addressed. If he's just letting, hey, Shelly, go ahead and do your fucking job, I'm going to train and work out now for this fight, but I want you to make a statement. That's cool. But nowadays, fighters are more known for their promotion, their self-promotion. Muhammad Ali, he was one of the pioneers, but look at Mayweather. He was able to promote himself, talk shit, rev everybody up, piss everybody off, have just as much haters if you have fans. Who do you think paid Floyd Mayweather's bills more? The haters or his fans? I would say the haters, because people love to see Mayweather lose. And the possibility, oh, Canelo can do it. Yeah. Oh, Pacquiao can do it. Yeah. Oh, Victor Ortiz. Oh, yeah, I think he can do it. Yeah. Right? So Wilder is no exception. He promotes himself. That's why I don't understand why he's so quiet. That's the only thing. Why is he so quiet to the point? Don't change your tune just because you take a loss. I remember when Muhammad Ali took his first loss, Madison Square Garden, 1971. Okay, the fight, and they thought that Muhammad Ali was going to be this quiet, humble, put in his place type of fighter, with getting dropped with that rising hammer left hook in the 14th round of they bout with Smoking Joe Frazier. And they thought he was just going to yield and be quiet and everything. But what did he do? Oh, no, they don't know. Y'all don't know how wrong y'all are. Y'all are. Yeah, I'm going to get back in that ring. I'm going to show Joe Frazier what it's like to be a real king. And I'm going to be on top again. And he never stopped. And in fact, he did something unthinkable after that. Okay. But he did it without being quiet. Not calling Deontay Wilder Muhammad Ali. But what I'm saying is, what benefits Deontay Wilder at this point is to continue self-promoting himself. Don't stop just because you got a loss, because that's what everybody's going to think. If he can say, I don't give a fuck about what other people think, which, I've heard. It's still imperative to things like this to make a statement, just to show like, hey, I'm on the radar. I got you guys. Who got me? I got y'all. The fight's going to happen, and he's not getting out of this fight. This is a perfect opportunity for this to happen. You see what I'm saying? This is the perfect opportunity. Not, oh, let me stay quiet. Let me rely on Shelly Finkel. That's what I pay him for. I mean, yeah, that's the standard. That's the minimum, rather. I've never seen Deontay Wilder verbally to be the minimum. That's why it's all different. It's new. Maybe it's a part of something else. I'm not sure. But it's still contradicting people of how and when this fight will happen. Because according to Frank Warren, he's like, well, I don't know when the fight can happen. And I have to agree with him. Why? Because it was on the 19th. That's been canceled. Why? Because of football, right? Football conflicts. They don't want to go head to head with football. Is anybody else ready for some football? I mean, the Americans on this thing? But that's what's alive over here. And they don't want to worry about that. Right? The 5th, that's Danny Garcia, Errol Spence. What else do we have? What are we going to go on? We have 2 other days. The 26th? The day after Christmas, you think people want to buy it? So it's difficult at this point. So I don't, like Frank Warren said, well, when is it going to be? It's going to be in December, but when? You going to push it to next month? It's already the 11th. If these guys, if they even had a proper training camp yet, we don't really know. And you keep hearing thing after thing. It's a point of time when you're like, look, stop. Shut up, stop. That's not true. Shut up. That ain't true either. Let me tell you guys what is true. And he needs to counterpunch and break it all down to everybody so everyone will know. The lovers, the haters, everybody. And would tell you how, in fact, when sign is signed, he will lose if he don't learn counter, jab, jab, jab. Well, he definitely needs to change, adjust. He looks good for his age. Oh, Mike Tyson? Yeah, if he cuts off the white chili, you know what I mean? When he cuts off, he does look, but I mean, that's just his features or whatever. Mike's looked the same since he was a kid. And in fact, Mike was like 12 years old and looked like he was 22. So he has one of those distinct, he has distinct facial features, Facts. AJ, everyone knew he wanted the rematch. Yeah, I mean, even Joshua, and Joshua's not really a vocal person in comparison to Wilder. Think about Wilder and what Wilder used to say versus what AJ used to say, and the type of content and the type of volume he used to speak from. Wilder used to talk a lot of shit, I mean, a lot of shit. Everyone knew he wanted this rematch. Man, Wilder is a fool. He didn't take 100 million to fight AJ. Well, you know something funny? You know who's gonna make over 100 million? If Wilder don't get this fight, it's gonna be sad because what he feared is gonna happen. But that's karma, though. You don't purposely try to freeze out a unified champion. He's the unified champion. He makes more money than both of you motherfuckers put together, and you call yourself freezing out that dude instead of fighting that dude. You don't. You don't handle rivalries that way. You don't. You just. It's not the way you do shit. You know, I've always said, I'm like, well, Wilder, fucking knock him out. Keep going. Keep going. Wilder, get him. Hit him with the right hand. Bring all the belts back over here. That's my Van Damme impersonation, guys. But I'm thinking, you know, he just like, no, I don't want that. They moved the goalpost. They was scared. They was cowards. You ever been lied to? You know, take the fucking money, dude. Just take the money. Like, look, I've agreed. And it was, and everything wasn't set in stone because his manager said some contradicting shit also that same year, and that year is 2018. When the 15 million, they say, I agreed to the 12.5. Well, damn, have you? Did you? See, we go back in them times and then see, people talk about new media and old media and shit, but how about media in general? This shit is researchable, regardless if you're new media or old media. You know, true media, I like to say, because it's like basically what's real and what ain't. You know, but you have guys saying, hey, yeah, well, this was that and this was this. Oh, it's slave wages. We've been here. We've been there. We went through all that. Heard today Wilder has done no training. Yeah, I heard that today. I was, you know what, I was going to do a video on it, but I had to do some work on the second volume of an interview of a fight that's actually happening with Teofimo Lopez Sr. So I'll do it later on the day when I have time, as time permits, you know. But yeah, I've heard that too. Best bully Scotland, counterpunch to you. Yeah, but Fury already beat him twice. Yeah. That's how you milk it, you know? I mean, think of it this way. If Wilder comes in half-assed like Andy Ruiz did, at least he'll be getting a check of some sort. Fuck y'all, I'm going to acting. And I'll see him on the silver screen. Probably in a trailer somewhere. And then he'll run into me. Don't I know you? You the fool that was talking that shit about me. Said many things about you, sir. Wilder has only fought one quality fighter and he got murdered. Reality check. He needs to fight. He needs to only fight cherry picked Sonny Liston in sparring partners. Big up Kurt for all the work. Love the content. Wasim, but thank you, man. But you've been counterpunched. Ricardo LV, people doubt him considering Ruiz turn up at best shape ever, but what he did. No, he didn't, but that ain't nobody's fault though. Shit, you can't get pissed for somebody that shows up drunk, or you know what I mean? You know, you can't blame the other fighter. I'm gonna beat your drunk ass. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you're fat, you're full of Coronas and fucking tacos and Snickers and shit and Twinkies and fucking M&Ms and all that type of shit. Then you want to come up here talking about, I'm ready to fight. I'm ready. You know what? Andy Ruiz, let me counterpunch Andy Ruiz for a minute, guys. Just bear with me. Andy Ruiz, he did most of his fucking training in the media workout. Think about it. Okay, Joshua came in. Okay, all right. Smiled, took some pictures and left. Shit, maybe a minute. Andy was in there like 5-10 minutes. I'm like, damn, Andy, why you know why he was doing that? Because he didn't have enough time with his trainer. Manny Robles ain't seen this motherfucker. And then if you notice, he was fucking up the combinations too. If you guys noticed that, I counterpunched it. I say, well, wow, that ain't a good sign. Have you motherfuckers even been training on your combinations, or what you been doing? And he been drinking. I've been drinking, little smoking, little poking, little toking. Yeah, that ass. You know? So it's like, it is what it is. So, like, you can't blame Joshua. Joshua came up there looking all lean and shit, looking like Vladimir Klitschko with an afro. Oh, David Moore, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Hey, guys, there's 147 people on the chat. Hit the like button. Let's get 100 likes. Let's go. You did a great job with Teofimo's dad interview. It was very enjoyable. Arlette Constable, thank you very much. You know, I have another volume coming, so I'll release it sometime today. I just want to get people to see the first volume before seeing the second, because YouTube shows the latest, right? So we want to get that particular version, because that's the larger version. The other one's maybe 12 minutes or so, because we got cut short due to whatever. His phone went dead. That's why UFC's winning, because you get the fights within a year. Absolution. You get absolution. You get those fights right away. They'll talk about one fight that night. If he gets past this, he gets to take on Anderson Silva. And then fucking next fight, he's with Anderson Silva. There ain't no, well, this has happened in the contracts, and no, they couldn't come to an agreement. You know, they have different promotional companies, and this promoter said this, and that promoter said that, and then these guys can't come together. They had an appointment to meet, but it got canceled. All that bullshit. All of it. It's a bunch of bullshit. So you're right. UFC is doing that because they don't have those problems like we do. The sport that I love, that I hate so much. It is what it is. Truth. Michelle Balzan. I hope so, man. You know, I'm bringing more and more people on. I'm reaching out. We're going to get the Whites. We're going to get the Pulevs. We're going to get a lot of those fights. We're going, that I can. I'm going to get to those guys. We're going to counterpunch. You know, Lady Sean in the house, dim sum. What's up, baby? Counterpunch to you. The difference is AJ was training from 2 weeks after his defeat, releasing videos and losing weight. Wilder has not done any positive actions towards the rematch. The silence was not a good sign. Rachel, counterpunch to you. No, it was not. See, that's the thing. Look, when you take, and I think it comes down to, okay, I think it comes down to when you take an L, what do you do to recover? How do you make that right? How will that make a difference in your life? How will that impact you? Look, I took an L. You know, hey, do you come back after 2 weeks and say, fuck it, let me work on this? I know I can beat this guy. Or do you come on this motherfucker saying, I don't think he was a real champion? Which one are you going to do? You going to talk, or are you going to walk? Draw your conclusions, gentlemen. No further questions. You've been counterpunched. Oh, man. Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones. Old school boxers can wait till see. Yeah, I love to see that too, man. It makes me feel like I'm back in the day. You know? And like back in the day for me, if YouTube was around at that time, like 02, 03, 99, like those times, like those years. Because I think YouTube didn't even come up until like maybe 04, I think. I think they launched in 04. Or was it 06? I think it was 04 though, I think. I heard about YouTube in 06. Well, what the hell is YouTube, you know? So they had all types of stuff, and you could, you know, YouTube yourself and all that. It was a game changer for a lot of people, normal people like you and me that, you know, didn't have those silver screen opportunities or whatever, and you wanted to get your point across to whoever would listen across the WWW. So yeah, I had I bought every fight, because back then we didn't have, you only had Showtime, HBO, and ESPN. That was really the three. You didn't have anything more than that. Those networks, you could watch everything you want. Most of that shit you had to pay, right? Showtime had to pay. HBO had to pay. Pay-per-view had to pay more. ESPN, Had to pay for the ESPN package, but I mean that was free. But it's still, ESPN. You had to pay for that sports package, right? That just wasn't on regular. It might have been on regular cable, but you still had to pay your bill. But Friday nights fights, Tuesday night fights, Friday night fights, I saw all of them and I loved those fights. And I seen fighters come from this level and move to that level. It was beautiful. I wish, we had that technology back then because we had some classic stuff down. And I called it the boxing dungeon, okay? Because I saw every fight and I had a den area and I had like the beer out back. I bought like 50 to 100 wings and it was cool. And people came all around and all about and seen some classic shit. Barrera Morales, De La Hoya Mayweather. These type fights that happened. Oscar De La Hoya, Felix Trinidad. Those type of fights. Roy Jones Jr. when he actually lost by disqualification to Griffin. Those type of fights I saw. The rematch. Those type of fights I saw. So it was a lot of fights that I had, and I wish that, that we had this type of technology, but I was there. You know what I mean? You can't kill the experience because I'll never forget. Like Roy Jones Jr., y'all must have forgot. Not me. I think many people have lost interest in this fight. I mean, they keep dicking around it, Will. But then, when you bring old Joshua around into conversation, why would you really remember this fight? Why would you even want to see a third fight? In fact, people thought that Wilder would say, you know what? Really basically pull a 2019, okay? Just like think about the money Fury will get fighting Joshua compared to the contract he signed with ESPN. Makes you think, don't it? I think he'll make more money fighting Joshua, especially fighting him twice. That's his contract right there. Hello, my man, Jamie Kyle. Counterpunch to you. Gerald Brukin. He was adapt himself, learn from his mistakes. Jab, counter, punch. Wilder don't have that. If he don't learn with someone who can fight like that, example, Mayweather, he will lose again. He definitely has to learn. Yeah, I was thinking that Arlette Constable. I was thinking that today. I'm thinking, man, I woke up this morning. I'm like, he's definitely New York. We're going to fucking rip this guy's head off. We're going to take him to school. We're going to knock this guy out, bro. Bro, listen to me. And it was almost like, damn, I thought I said something that pissed him off. Like, listen to me, bro. Let me tell you something. My son is going to kill this guy. He's going to rip his fucking face off. This guy, we had to get a belt. We had to chase this fucking guy. Yeah, he's New York. Is it New York by way of Honduras or Honduras by way of New York? Because he definitely has a New York accent. You're absolutely right. Absolutely. Ant 718. Kurt, stop defending Wilder. We all know Wilder has always and is still ducking Joshua to this day. Uh-oh. Got somebody a little heated here. Oh, Ant 718. Thank you for the strong, positive, in your face counterpunch. Shit. I didn't say it. I don't even know how I pissed you off. Okay. Don't wait. Make the date, mate. Scans Ranch, counterpunch to you. That was funny. Wilder impersonation from Joshua. Priceless. Care less about Fury Wilder. Wilder will not learn to box even if he boxes until he's 60. Oh, Daniel. I think Wilder just needs to listen. I think he's been trained. I think he knows what somebody showed him, but I don't think he's actually practiced that because he's too busy with power and wanting to knock people out. How many body shots have you seen Wilder throw? That's a fucking very good question, have you? I mean, you don't really see him. You could say Muhammad Ali didn't throw him either, but Muhammad Ali threw punches in bunches. With blinding speed and footwork and all that shit. ring IQ, and defensiveness. Okay. Mike Tyson will beat him. I know it's more. Oh, I'm more excited. Mike Tyson is back. Holyfield is back in competition. Yeah, Holyfield is coming for him. I'm gonna whoop Tyson again. I'm just gonna whoop because my mama said you better not come home. No, you come home with you come home beat up. I'm gonna give you a whooping. Oh man, you gotta love Holyfield though. Holyfield is a warrior though, man. Definitely. I would be against him fight. I think Holyfield honestly should stay. He's a gym rat. He can't help it. He can't help that. I want to be that guy. I want to be that old guy in the gym, dies at 92, right mind, right everything though. I don't want people to wipe my ass when I'm old or nothing like that. Just taking me out. Evander Holyfield is a guy that should stay in the gym, train, work the mitts and all that, do some rounds, but never come back to fight. Maybe some charities if he could, just to keep him doing stuff. Because you guys don't understand something about a passion, a job, a career. Once you do that for so long, it's a part of you. That's it. Like, why do you think Andre Ward just left? He decided one of his reasons to leave because that's something that he did, not who he was. He didn't want to be a Holyfield. He didn't want to be a Muhammad Ali. He didn't want to be that guy. Yeah, we known him as a boxer, but other than that, now he's a commentator. Now he might train for something. There's different stages in life. But what happens if you stay attracted or connected to something so long that you don't want to let go of, regardless of when you should have let go of it, it's gonna consume you. And I think that's happened to Evander Holyfield. So since it has consumed him, I think he needs to have some wisdom and understanding on what he should be doing in the sport of boxing. He could always train. He could always practice. He could always do those type of things. But those charity events with headgear, that should be something that would really make his day, and he could get up for that. Because a lot of people, if they're not doing a lot, they're going to die, especially if they've worked. Okay? I've had relatives, right, that worked 40 years. The next year, they're gone, drop dead. Why? Because they had nothing to really, that connect is gone. Don't be surprised, bro. Wilder might come back indifferent this time. Of course, won't want to lose it. Emma, Albert, here's the thing. We don't know. That's a strong possibility, Wilder, because I seen Wilder. Wilder was working on uppercuts. I seen him hit Fury with an uppercut, but he didn't have enough leverage on it. See, Wilder's going to have to start taking some chances. And I don't mean the same old chances that people have, we've seen him do. Jab, right hand, jab, jab, right hand. No. He's going to have to get in there, and catch Fury coming in. If you don't catch him coming in, he ain't going to get him. Because even the punches he catches him with, we've seen in the last fight, Fury already knows. Fury has seen that right hand come at him 1,000 times in his mind. Think about how many times Fury have saw that right hand coming towards Wilder. Coming at him from Wilder. How many times have he seen it? Oh, there it is. Oh, zip. Here it is. He saw it that time. I think he needs to straighten the punch. I think he needs to work on his targeting, because I think the punch, he still needs to land the right hand. I don't think he has a left hook for shit. I think he can use his left hook to set up the right hand, but I don't think he's an even-handed fighter. No, I don't. I think he still needs to land the right. It's how he delivers the right and catches him with that Dominic Brazil shot, with that Luis Ortiz in the second fight shot, with that Arthur Spilka shot. He needs to land that shot to get Fury out of there, to upset and fuck up everything. Y'all was talking about a Joshua fight and you overlooked me. Now we gotta see who is scared once again. Oh, fuck. Not again. Yeah, Joshua's scared. Take my 50 mil and get knocked out for real to this day. To this day. To this day. Shh. Oh, man. I'd like to appreciate the great work you do. Nowadays, it's hard to find unbiased reporting like you do. Glad you've retrieved your channel. Cheers, mate. Kangum, Nawi, Awam. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's glad to have it back, even though it needs to be back where it was, you know. Let's get 100 likes, guys. We got 77. We need 23 more likes to get 100 likes. Let's go. Nikki Blue Eyes. I haven't missed much. I hope I haven't missed much. Well, I've been here 55 minutes, and that just shows probably you didn't get the notification. I take it. Yep, good old YouTube. Gotta love them. Who would be a good undercard for Wilder Fury 3? Well, if it can happen this year, which I don't know if it can or can't, but Luis Ortiz still needs to fight because he was supposed to fight on the undercard of Andy Ruiz. Okay. Trinidad love counterpunch. What? Clayton Henry. What does that mean? Okay. There was a report yesterday that Wilder is not training at all and just eating right and focusing on getting healthy. Yet we hear he's training with secret trainers. Thoughts? Ex-Quan. I don't know. I saw that and I had other things to do, man. I think I've done enough right now about that. Maybe later tonight I'll dive into it and make a video. But I don't know, man. You're hearing too many things. You're hearing that Wilder, you know, was he hurt? Did he have an injury? He didn't have an injury. It wasn't that bad of an injury. It was off the bone, you know, coming from off the bone. Jones was saying it's off the bone. You know, it's been, you know, so it's been so many different things. And Shelly Finkel saying, no, that didn't happen at all. Nothing was wrong with that. You know, like, did he even have a surgery? We don't even know. Like, all that shit, man, it's just too much right now. And sometimes when something becomes just, you just hear so much shit, you just want to stop and just be like, wait, you know, hold up, you know, somebody's lying, if not everybody, you know. You said that Wilder has improved since the first Fury fight and was able to connect with the right hand in both first and second round. Yeah, he was. I did. And he did. Did he do that in the first fight? Nope. First fight, first right, it really hit him was the 9th round. It took this motherfucker 9 rounds to hit Fury. Fury was living in his head that much, that long, rent-free. For him, because I know Wilder was mad. Wilder was ready to knock Tyson Fury out, and I think that was his downfall. And I don't think he was as mad as he was in the second fight. I think he was more calm because Wilder had the momentum. Why? Because he just knocked out Luis Ortiz. He just turned down $100 million, which initially mean he was worth $100 million. People don't think about that. People just thought, oh yeah, he's gonna take the money. He's gonna take the money. He didn't take the money. He did not take the fucking money. So someone else and said, hey, they offered me this. You know, so yeah, I think he did improve with the right hand. He improved his delivery system. But I think he needs to improve more than that, and then some. If Joe Joyce loses to Dubois, will be good to see Joyce versus a Jogba. What do you think? I think that's absolutely a great opportunity for both guys. See, if Joe Joyce loses to Dubois, right, then fights a Jogba, he can, first of all, kill the momentum of a Jogba, if there is any. And that's going to be a very good fight, man, because that's a Jogba stepping up. No. That's ESPN now. No more. So that's good. That's a real good thing. And I think that fight could be possibly made. Because the way that Frank Warren's doing it, he's going for broke. He's like, dude, I'm getting old. I'm going to make these damn fights. Let me get with Eddie. Let's see if we can make more good fights. And I think it's a good thing. So you think Joe Joyce fighting Ajagba, if he loses to Dubois, is a bad thing. It's a great thing. It's a great opportunity. I would love to see that fight. Definitely. Great counterpunch. Anna Jomo. Gab, counterpunch to you. Edwin, math. You are always the best person for the boxing, sir. I've been more glued on your channel, your wonderful channel, since I became subscribed. Thank you, Edwin. Appreciate you. I try to get more and more content out to you guys. And speaking of content, let's get those likes up, because those likes ensure that people know about the notifications. It jump starts YouTube's algorithms and all that good shit. Slotello presents. What do you think happens if AJ doesn't vacate? Do you think he fights Usyk before Fury, or does he go straight away to Fury after Pulev if Usyk is promised the first shot after the Fury fights? Look, let me tell you something. This is what I think is going to happen. I think Joshua has one mind. I think Eddie Hearn has another. And I think Eddie Hearn, working for Joshua, will try to persuade Joshua, like, hey, just fucking take the fight, mate. We're not ever going to have an opportunity like this. Just take the fucking fight. I love you, AJ, but just take it. We'll fucking get free. We'll come after Usyk. He's with us. Usyk's with us. Okay, mate? Okay, AJ. Shit. Yeah. So, let's see. You got a mic. Maybe Wilder is playing mind games. If his own, you never know. Yeah, maybe he is. I mean, silence is golden, they say, though. So, Joshua Littlejohn, salute Kurt, my guy, tuned in for this lunch break. Nice. Enjoy your lunch. What are you having? But no, man, but back to that, Slotello. I think it's going to be, it's going to be talked about. And if you noticed, you'll hear Anthony Joshua do an interview, then you hear Eddie Hearn do another interview, and none of that shit sounds alike. Right? But ultimately, they come at some point. So you have to look at how valuable is the WBO. Right? So it could happen either way, but Fury, I think Fury would be more inclined with, him dumping that belt. I just want to know what'll happen if Fury dumps his belt. Will he still want to fight? Will Joshua still want to fight him if he don't have that strap? But to just lose a strap, to possibly gain a strap, that is the question. Judging on the subject, Kurt, their best option is go to Europe if they want a crowd. They're allowing crowds in Germany. They could be in Germany. That would be good. Nikki Blue Eyes, counterpunch to you. I mean, that's the only way that fight's going to happen. It can't happen in the U.S. It's just too much shit going on over here. It is. It's just too much going on. How do you think if Wilder was lighter and faster, would those punches have more effect on Fury and the outcome could be different? Andrew, you know what? That's a good question, because a lot of people would rather make up shit than really analyze what really happened. And what really happened is Wilder came in about 10 pounds heavy. 10 pounds. That's not his normal weight. Wilder is known to be a tall, lanky, oblong, wiry, strong guy. Look at the... People have made jokes about Wilder's legs, and people have done this shit and put Wilder's body on it. He does have some skinny ass legs, but let me tell you, the punches that he generates, the punching power that Wilder generates, is not because he was bulky. Think about it. His legs are that fucking skinny. He has small legs. So you think that it's because he gets his power because he's stocky? No, he's slender. He's lean. Okay, he's not that dude. He's not that dude to bulk up and make a lot. Joshua had to learn that shit. So Joshua, honestly, to counterpunch Joshua, he has to be careful. Don't put back on that muscle that doesn't allow you to move and be mobile like you should be. Look at Wilder in the first fight. Wilder could do all this little shit and zip around. I think it was the second round. Wilder came out and kind of did a little dash, and then Fury did the same little dash to show him like, yo, I got foot speed and quickness too. You guys remember that? He didn't do that in the second fight because there's those 10 fucking extra pounds. They will do something for you. You might think, oh, 10 pounds ain't that bad. Yeah, go running and you'll find out. You'll feel the difference. You'll see the difference. Okay, you won't be able to run as fast. Let me give you guys a story. About 6 years ago, I would like to tell you a story, right? About 6 years ago, I had a bad breakup. I mean, it was terrible. You know what I mean? Like the shit was tragic to me, end of the world type of shit. But anyway, I was stressed out and couldn't sleep and all this, that, and the other. Well, I lost about 40 pounds. Just stress, you know. When you're stressed, weird things happen. Some people eat and shit and get fat. Oh, they left me. Oh. But then some people like myself don't eat and just get hell of a skinny. That's what happened to me, you know. And I was maybe 230. I got down to like 190. And I used to race a friend, and we used to race at the track because, you know, we were stunt guys, so we got to stay in half-ass shape. So we would go to the track and the gym, and we, you know, do some track and field. And we got on the football field, and he would always smoke me. And we about the same height, but he has smaller legs than I do at the time. And he could always get me until I lost that weight. Okay? I lost that 40 pounds. I was able to get him. In fact, smoke them. And then I just remembered, damn, that's right. I did run track as a teenager and adolescence. I was quick as shit. Now I know why I can't run as fast. Why? Because I have 34 fucking pounds on me. So compare what Wilder went through to what my situation was is similar. I just had more weight. But he is an athlete. He's built differently than I am. Okay? So it's one of those things where Wilder, that extra weight makes all the difference in the world. Now, if you apply a heavy ass costume on top of 10 extra pounds that you're not accustomed to, that may have some weight because you're not used to walking around like that. He surely wasn't mobile in that damn fight. I can tell you that much. He wasn't dashing and zipping and all that shit like he was doing, dodging and parrying and all that. You know, dipping and slipping. He wasn't slipping shit, but, you know, just dipping around, dashing. You know, he had some speed up under him, but no, I think that 10 pounds had a lot to differ because his power is not from bulkiness or putting weight to it. It's from actual God-gifted power that he already has, and he needs to be lean, flexible enough to throw that shot. So actually the heavy, and I did a video on this last year when he said he'd gone up against Dominic Brazil. Oh, well, I'm going to gain 10 pounds. What the fuck you doing that for? You're already a hard-hitting son of a bitch. You know what I mean? Like, dude, no. Absolutely not. And I believe that the contract is soon going to expire, and I hope it does. Nikki Blue Eyes. That's something that they better put into account. Arizism. Kurt, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Just join. I can't stand Wilder's personality, most annoying boxer. He has a lot of haters. A lot of people don't like him, you know. And a lot of people don't like that in-your-face brass shit. Don't like that, let me be the bad guy kind of shit, you know. They don't like it. They didn't like Ali when he did it. You know, they love him now, but I mean, they didn't back then. He's a coward. He didn't want to fight for his own country. That type of shit. These are facts, you know. And if you talk to someone that's in their late 50s, early 60s, you know, because I've ran into a few. Oh, I can't stand Ali. I'm like, okay. I wonder why. You know what I mean? Airman, that's too funny. Kurt moving finally got a mic. I've had a mic for a while. You didn't see it, so you know. Because I didn't display it, so I think it's this time to do that, you know, that podcast like shit, you know, and of course it's in front of you. Yeah. Couldn't be mad. Was just totally trying to get through the fight. Salute CPB. New mic and great intro on your last video. Boxing Finesse. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Counterpunch back to you. Let's get 150 likes. We have 103 on the chat as we speak. Everyone hit the like button. Let's get it. Let's go. It's funny. I think people come on here that don't really like this channel, and they're coming on here. Then when they say, "Oh, you got 150," oh, let me drop off of here. Fuck them. Fuck Kurt. You know, a jog, but Joyce, who the slower guy? I think Joyce is slower, but I think Joyce has better variety though. So imagine he beat Fury in the first fight with the knockout. Bet Wilder wouldn't have made the rematch. Johnny Woodsman. I don't know because see if he did knock out okay, let's just say he knocked Fury out in the 12th round, and then let's say let's say the referee just waved it off. Jack Reese. Let's say Jack Reese just waved that shit off, like like Robert Byrd would have done. Robert Byrd would have pushed your ass down, like he did, Danny Jacobs when I forget the Russian fighter hit him, but he pushed his ass down. He didn't even want to see. No, it's over. No, no, right? If that would have happened, that could have been a rematch. Why? Because then Tyson Fury would have said, you know what? I almost beat you, you big doss. I was beating you every round until you hit me with the power. But that was a 50% Tyson Fury. That's not fair. I'm coming back and I'm going to take what's mine. You big dosser. I was bald, fat, out of shape, and I still went 12 rounds with you, you bum. That it still would have happened. It still would have happened. Yeah. And see, plus, what you guys not realizing, Johnny, they had a rematch clause both ways. So it was a two-way rematch clause. So the shit was going to happen anyway. God of War, you're right. It did happen when Kaladze almost knocked him. When he knocked him down and put him flat on his back, Ajagba's momentum went down the tube. But they were like, well, shit, if Kaladze could do that, that means any other fighter could. You know what I mean? So I get that. I mean, even though he did get up and do what he had to do, but yeah, that stopped that aura invincibility. That guy that you hit and he just keep coming forward, chopping your ass down. That was Ajagba, and it looks like no one could stop him. So people were looking at Ajagba like the new Wilder, but a little better with an African accent, more Nigerian blood. Because they say Wilder has 33% of Nigerian blood. And I'm going to do a video actually about that, because that's a huge number, a huge percentage, So, but I'll do one of Nigeria who wins, what I'm saying? Stay tuned. Hearn is serpentine. Christian Vargas, how long are usual rematch clauses contracts for, since no one is saying what actually contract? You're right, Chris. I don't know that either. See, we need to know the facts. We need to know when the shit, how long will it last for? It doesn't last forever unless they say it's like if it's some Max Schmeling versus Joe Louis Part 2 type of bullshit where Joe Louis has signed a contract, and the contract, get this is the power of having a manager or a lawyer. It stated that Joe Louis, to take this fight, he would have to give 20% of his fight purse to Max Schmeling for the rest of his fucking life. Can't make this up. So contracts are very, very important. Okay? And he beat Max Schmeling. But, I mean, that didn't really matter because he signed the fucking contract to fight this guy in the rematch. And he did that for what? America. For his fans, the people that loved him, to bring the heavyweight championship world belt, which was only the one in its kind at that time, back to the US of A. Counterpunch. Dedication, gratitude. You got to respect that. AJ will take on anyone, but I think Usyk could be another mistake. Usyk, one mean mother sucker. Tim Cummings, you're absolutely right. I think Usyk, will surprise a lot of people, man. That's why that fight, 31st of October, we got Loma Teofimo coming 17th. Then we got on the 31st, Halloween. Coming. That fight. I can't wait. And again, I will do it live from wherever. Okay, I'm gonna be out of the country at the times, but I will do that fight live. That fight will be live, and I will do it live if I can get the fight. I think it's if I think it's on the zone. If I can watch the zone in Santo Domingo, we will do it. You know, or I'll find some kind of illegal bullshit way, because the only way I would do that illegally, because I'm against all that shit. But if I can't watch the service that I pay for in that country, I'm gonna have to do that. Okay, so love your analysis. Love from India. Sumanta. So ish. Sumanta. Thank you very much. I'm not sold on Usyk. That's BJ Ben 03. I have to see him in there with some killers at heavyweight. Well, if that's the case, look, if that's the case, we have to see everybody in there with killers. Ex-con, by all your research, Kurt, you heard some info that won't be shared till a later date. Has this information changed your view on Fury Wilder? Yeah, a lot of information that here's the thing, a lot of information that I have or videos that I've done won't be on this channel. They'll be for members only. So for everybody advised, within the next day or two, my member tab should be up, and I will have content on there that you have to be exclusive, either a gold Counterpunch member or silver Counterpunch member to see. Okay, the only difference between the silver and the gold is the gold you get like a $5 shirt, like a donation of $5 you get, and I send it to you free of cost. You know, when you do that, oh well, along with the $5, because if you guys are in the UK, it takes $24 to send it. So you know, go figure. But the content on there is worth getting the membership for. Okay, then you'll be supporting the channel more. And I have a lot of stuff that can only be on there for members only. You know, some hardcore shit that you'd be like, get the fuck out. That type of stuff. It's going to be on there. Classic footage on there. Those type of things will be on those for members only. So it will be unlisted. You guys will get a link when you join up, when you sign up. Okay, and those things will really open your eyes and understand why certain things were done certain ways at certain times. So stay tuned for that. Armand, can Usyk get past Del Boy, though? Well, we got to see. We have to really see. Tim Cummings, he took out Bellew with ease. Tim, you know, he waited Bellew out because he knew Bellew was going to come out blasting and blazing, and he did. Sharp shooting, countering with the right, you know, he was countering off the ropes and catching Usyk at times. But see, he was catching Usyk like at the top of his head and things like that because Usyk is defensively sound. So like a lot of times he would catch him like here on his eye or something like that, but he's covering this mainframe. So yeah, he waited Bellew out. Waited for him to shoot all the shit that he had to shoot out. Counter, block, absorb, all of that shit from the first 4 rounds. Then Usyk started to move in, if you noticed. It was quite brilliant because after that fight was over, we seen what he was doing. He revealed his strategy. He didn't do it before, of course. That just defeats the purpose. But what he did was he waited Bellew out. And then Bellew was thinking, okay, I got this guy. I'm going to do what I need to do. But then he started angling these punches and started catching Bellew, and Bellew started getting tired. Okay, and then in the way he caught him was absolutely wonderful. It was quick. It was almost like, okay, it's time. Go in and attack, destroy. And that's exactly what he did. If more of Usyk pushes forward straight after the Pulev fight. Yeah, I mean, he's next in line. So why wouldn't he? He should. Yeah. Ryan. Bellew drained himself to get back down in weight. Well, not too much. He didn't necessarily do a Roy Jones, man. Think about it. You know, Roy went from 205 to 175. You see what I mean? That's 20 pounds you had to strip off. He didn't strip off that much. You went from heavyweight to cruiserweight. So that's like, what, 10 pounds? 15 at the most, if? It's cruiserweight. It ain't like it's cruiser. It's above heavy in between. It's above light heavy in between heavy, right below heavyweight. So yeah, he didn't lose that much, and he took that opportunity. Usyk gave him that opportunity, and it was a good win for Usyk. Usyk just proved like, dude, that's a dangerous dude right there, because Bellew upset fucking Haymaker. I know he wasn't right the first fight, but he did what he needed to do, to David Haye. Okay. Now go figure, David Haye has everything bad to say about Usyk. You know what I mean? Because yeah, you're the guy that got beat by the guy that he beat. So yeah, I could see why you don't like that guy. Plus you're managing the guy that you hope wins, so you can get your get back in that way. Just like with Oscar De La Hoya wanted Canelo to beat Floyd. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those situations. Definitely. Kurt, do you think Fury's lack of a UK boxing license is still an issue for Undisputed taking place? And nope. Because when he applies, you have to understand that Martin Carefoot shit is already been dropped. See, the problem is, look, we've been hearing bullshit for so long that you keep hearing something that's not really true, that hasn't really proven to be true. You'll take it for truth because you've heard it. Or if you ain't heard it, you've heard something about it. Like, oh yeah, I heard some. Yeah, I think his boxing license is gone. He just hasn't applied for it. Because he has no reason to apply for it because he wasn't fighting over there. But once he does, he passes the physical, and that Martin Carefoot shit has been dropped, and all the other things, and everything is forgiven. Nobody cares about that no more. What do we care about? Him fighting Anthony Joshua. That's all we care about, and that's all that's going to happen. That's all we're going to get. Okay? That's the deal. So him not having license there now does not affect a fight that will happen in the future, because there's nothing to stop him from not getting the license. And that Martin Carefoot shit, it stunk to high heaven anyway for many reasons. Martin Carefoot. Let me say this. What's the odds of somebody coming forth and then, hey, you guys cheated 5 years ago, and I can prove you cheated because I didn't have the boar meat that you said, or I lied and said I had, because I agreed to take money to lie and you didn't give it to me. So wait a minute, we supposed to believe that you are now telling us truth because you want to be a better person? No, bitch, you want money. I don't know what's going on with his fans, with his farm or whatever, what's going on. He wanted money, or he probably needed money. And for all we know, people reached out to certain people like, well, hey, what's the odds of that really happening? And then it's just being like amplified on certain channels. Come on, man. Let's be smarter than that. Let's just be smarter than that. Wilder and team lost the belt, but they still trying to hold it hostage. Times have changed this year because of COVID. And for whatever reason, Wilder and the team are acting like they just still have the belt. Steven, that's it. That's how they look at it. That's what they're trying to, they're like this. The belt is on hold until we can get it back. And as long as they got that contract, that's how it is. Unless they do something stupid, they better get that fight. That fight better happen for Wilder. That's Wilder's saving grace, because I don't see why. Okay, if Wilder was so focused on Fury last year and he wanted nothing more than to get a fight with fucking Tyson Fury, what makes you think he's gonna be? What makes you think he's gonna be less interested this time? He's gonna be more interested because he don't have it. He's gonna be what? Nothing is gonna change with Wilder. He's really fixated with Fury. I knocked him out the first fight. Let me right my wrongs. What wrongs? If you knocked him out, you felt you knock him out, move the fuck on and fight Joshua. You didn't want to fight Joshua. Why? I want Fury. What did Fury do to you? Besides dip, duck, block, piss you off, live in your head rent free, and lasted 12 rounds with you. What else did he do? If you think you beat him, fine, move on. You don't think it was a draw? Fine, move on. You still got the belt. You're still undefeated. Now he can't say that shit. Now he's whatever 1-1. And how many other knockouts? So it just shows you, stop fucking worried about this person that you had and focus on the future. He could have fought Joshua for undisputed. It was up to him. Andy Ruiz was not a fucking mandatory. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, he needed somebody to fight. Okay. Oh wow, Kurt. What's going on? Nikki. Something happened? I'm happy you came out of your bad breakup in a positive way. Oh yeah. That was crazy. It's crazy shit. I must be very far behind. I still watch a video on the second fight. I think it's better than the actual fight top video of that pal. Look, John, those live streams, look, especially when shit happens you don't expect to happen. It's classic stuff. It's classic stuff. You go back and you look at those live streams, it happened in real time. That shit ain't orchestrated. We didn't know what was going to happen. We ain't psychic. We watching it all together. Right? And it's crazy. I was in shock. I was like, what the fuck? Fury's beating the shit out of this dude. And in the way Wilder was, I'm like, dude, this dude. And it comes off like Wilder just was this dude. He was no longer tough. He was no longer strong. He was no longer with it. It was almost like his power went out that night. It was just like stripped from him. Give me that. You know. But yeah, it was crazy. Very good night of boxing, though. Forever your fan. Thank you, Nikki. I appreciate it. Also, Kurt, what's the verdict on Jarrell in the Viagra gate? Viagra gate? Look. I'm going to use that. I'm stealing that from you, Joshua Little John. Viagra gate. I'm stealing it. I'm using it. Sometime this week, I'm going to find time to make a Viagra gate video introducing Jarrell Miller. The black ant peel. Makes my shit big and hard. Joyce beats Triple D. Okay. Anthony Crooks. All right. Third fight is a joke, man. Fury, in my eyes, won 2 times. Also, much love. I'm picking Joyce to win again. Dubois. Okay. So we got some Joyce fans. Good. You know. Mr. Brown. You know what? Actually, you look. You pretty much don't worry. Things are going to happen because you do understand I have 2 channels, right? The other channel is not done because this one's on. Like I promised you guys, people that hate on me and hated on me for a lot of reasons, and you know, that's going to be again on like content for the members only. Will know certain things that happen to me that will not just be, you know, for public consumption. You got to be a member to get all this good shit, you know, and it's coming. But the second fight, the second channel will be, you know, we have some surprises that's coming on. Just trust me, and you're gonna be like, cool. I hope you enjoy it. You know, we're gonna have some special guests, you know, and they will come through. You know, it will be a lot of fun stuff. You guys got to check it out. You guys really got to check it out. And it's coming soon. I got my editor on it, you know, so we're gonna make that happen. We're gonna make that happen. Hopefully this week it's gonna launch, you know, the new stuff or the beginning of the new stuff for that particular channel. Okay. Counterpunch Boxing News Round 2 is still in full effect. Okay. So just a different fight. The Mike P saw your video on Loma fighting backwards on Fight with thanks for your honesty and unbiased. Mike, appreciate you, brother. Thank you for the super chat. You know, that's going to be one hell of a fight. It's going to be power, youth versus skill and agility. That's what that's going to be, you know. Viagra gate. That shit, look, I'm using that. Joshua Lil John, I'm going to put you in the hashtag. Hashtag Viagra gate. Hashtag Joshua Little John. Hashtag Counterpunch. Hashtag Jarrell Big Pill Miller. Hey, brother, hope you're good. Can't stop long. Everyone like. Thank you, Zaros, 2-time, brother. Thank you for coming in. I'm going to give my prediction next week, probably Monday. Maybe tonight. Because, you know, I got to work. We've started, and first week has been a mother sucker. Fury didn't cheat. Beyonce just isn't that good. And to be honest, if he's fighting Ben Men, maybe his power isn't as good as he thinks. Lee, you know something? I'll say this. If Tyson Fury cheated Deontay Wilder, that's got to be the saddest shit in the world. You know why? Why would you cheat a limited man? That would be sad. In that case, if they did find out he did that, throw the book at him. Get him the fuck out of here, do a Luis Resto. Because, see, Wilder, you don't need to cheat Wilder to beat Wilder. That's that. You know, that's the thing. If they did, and if all the people that are preaching shit, and it actually came to a point where everybody found out, like, yo, we have this, we won in court. There was no way that he could be hit this way and have this type of thing happen to him, this, that, and the other, and then it was, that type of thing. However, I've seen the Cotto. If you guys look at Cotto Margarito, hold on right there. I got to get a water. Got to get a water. Wrong way. Okay. If you look at the Cotto Margarito face-off, the shit was epic, right? It was because that's when Cotto showed Margarito a picture of himself and his wraps, and his wraps was swollen. They were swollen and it had a little crack in the wraps. If you guys can remember that, the shit was classic. It was, Cotto just showed it to him, and it was after their fight, not when he got busted the very next fight with Sugar Shane. Okay, it was that fight. That's so you hear Margarito saying, "I don't know, yo no sé out again." Whatever, dude. You know what you had. You know what your trainer had. You guys tried to fuck over people, and I don't know how long they've been doing it. That's the question. But Cotto showed him. Boom. He showed him on his iPad. Like, can you explain this? And he thought it's nothing. That is nada. But it was one of those things where he had the evidence, right? And think about it. This was in '08. So that was 12 years ago. Now, we didn't have like Photoshop shit, like stuff like that really didn't go on at that time. So that was more convincing. And on top of him getting busted already, because this is after he got busted, and then they went back like, yo, you've already been caught cheating, motherfucker, and you think you want me to believe that this was legit the way this damn look, it was his hand wraps. They were swollen like a cast. Everybody knows what a cast looked like. The shit, it was swollen and it was starting to crack the actual part that was wrapped around it, because plaster of Paris is an element. Once it gets it swells over time and it hardens. That's what he was hitting Cotto with. So Cotto should be more mad at anyone, not Sugar Shane, which beat the cowboy piss out of Margarito. No, Cotto, because Cotto was the guy that actually took that type of punishment from the cheat. He was the guy that was actually cheated. He was hit with those freaking things. Okay? And even then, they don't go back on an investigation on that. Right? He didn't go back on an investigation, but he wanted everyone to know, look, I feel you was cheating. Now, if Wilder does something like that, however, it's something that already happened on top. The Margarito Cotto situation is more valid. Why? Because Margarito actually was caught cheating in a professional fight. Not some broke-ass sparring partner that had some old worn-ass gloves that he was coming in there pushing on. You know what I'm saying? Not no shit like that. I'm talking about a real boxing match with new gloves, not worn-out ass training gloves. Okay, so those type of things are different. Okay, in comparison, Margarito got busted. Nassim Richardson busted his ass. You know, then Cotto was like, you know what? I knew that shit. That's why this picture don't make sense to me. Pull up that picture. And he did. And even Max Kellerman was like, that makes sense. Can you explain this to me, Margarito? He has a big ass pop eyes, you know what I mean? Max Kellerman, you know. Joseph Diaz, great to see you back. Thanks, bro. It's great to be back. Wilder's manager must be very optimistic to think that they could wait for ever to have a crowded arena. Topentine, you are absolutely right. I don't know what they're doing over there. You know, and I've told people contracts, they do bind, but for how long? What's the cost for the extra channel? There's no cost for the extra channel. The extra channel is free. It's just Counterpunch Boxing News Round 2. What I was referring to was the member. To be a member, okay, of this channel, you'll get extra content. You're gonna get that on a. You're gonna get some different stuff over there. Joseph Diaz, thank you, brother. I'm glad to be back. Didn't need to see Wilder lose a third time anyway. Wilder can face a non-bum for once. Povetkin, White, Dubois. Then you know what? It's not Gobbler. I would see. Look, let's say Povetkin knocks out Dillian White again, and Wilder, he doesn't even get the fight, but he needs to fight someone. That's the fight he should fight. Why? Because that's the guy that he's supposed to fight anyway. He's supposed to fight him years before he fought Luis Ortiz. And if you have a guy with a record, with a resume, you got to think now. Wilder, if he fights Povetkin and knocks Povetkin out, people probably won't give him credit. They probably won't. Let's be real. They probably won't. But in hindsight, if he and at least there'll be a name on this record, and that's something Dillian White wanted to do. So if Dillian White couldn't beat him and Wilder does, you have to give Wilder credit. Think about it. I don't care how long ago he wanted to fight Wilder, or he was going to, they were in negotiation to fight. That doesn't matter. What matters is Povetkin knocked Dillian White out. So if Deontay Wilder can get a fight, if he's like, you know what, fuck Fury, right? We're going to see him in court or whatever, but I still got to fight someone now. Or, earlier next year. Fight Povetkin. That would be a good fight. Luis Ortiz and Povetkin's the same age, so you can't say that. On paper, anyway. So, yeah, that would be a very good fight. A fight that never happened, that should have happened, is happening now. Stay tuned, PBC Fox. Wilder versus Povetkin. Unfinished business. Coming soon. Pay-per-view. Right? It could happen. Gypsy King is going to get KO'd by AJ. Ah, okay. Lopez said Loma can't fight going backwards, and fight him is a channel showing differently. Well, fighting backwards is one thing. But coming from a person that knows how to step side to side and circle like Loma does, I don't think that if that was true, that wouldn't be one of his problems. A lot of times you shouldn't want to know how you fight backwards. A lot of people don't. If you know how to sidestep, if you know how to use you know how to use your ring, you don't have to. No, man, but I mean, look, the second volume of the Teofimo Senior interview was epic. I will upload it. I've already done it. I just got to upload it. It will be later tonight, probably in the morning, So Counterpunch to you. The boxing source. Counterpunch back to you, brother. Do you think Wilder can't fight going backwards, or do you think he had an underlying injury? I thought the way Joshua looked off during the fight with Ruiz, I felt something was wrong with Wilder. Well, I don't know, man. You know, he never been attacked like that. See, we don't really have. You have Fury fighting two different ways. That's the problem. Fury was boxing and moving in the first fight. He wasn't boxing and moving in the second. He was coming forward. He almost did what Canelo Alvarez did in the Golovkin rematch. He came forward and waited for the openings to counter. That's exactly what Tyson Fury did. Just Tyson Fury just put the stank on it by wrestling him and taking juice out of his back on top of those 10 pounds and such that Wilder thought he needed and never should have had. So yeah, he roughed him up a bit. And I think a lot of that had a lot to do with a lot of stuff, especially when someone's wrestling with you and all this shit. So hope we are able to answer your question from the other channel. Don't forget Wilder's first excuse was his costume weight. Yeah, we've heard about that. Good old JDs and stuff. His hands too had injury from hard pop rap. Okay. Keeping it 100. It's good, bro. Just join the live. We'll watch back. But what have I missed so far? What is the story? Stay blessed. We don't even know. Because both sides are saying different shit. Shelly Finkel saying this and Warren saying that. Wilder and his team have been conning the weak-minded for 12 years. What a useless bum he truly is. Damn. Wilder was just on a slow learners program. That's all. Sotir Treco. Hello to you. Let Wilder fight Ruiz. Yeah, that would be good, though. And in fact, I think that would be easier because it's both on PBC. And then, Ruiz and Wilder, they're no longer friends since Ruiz blew his opportunity because Wilder wanted to piggyback off that Ruiz win. He did. He was just too happy hanging out with Ruiz and shit, two champs and shit like that. And I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, you guys are hanging out, high-fiving, chest bumping, and all that shit, dapping each other up, skinning and grinning. Andy, he's all happy, happy fat guy, you know what I mean? And then Wilder's happy for a totally different reason. I didn't have to fight this motherfucker. And now I get to fight this guy. So now I'm still practicing the art of freezing out Joshua like I felt that I can do because I think these motherfuckers tried to underpay me. That's the whole thing. Talking about my manager. It's Shelly Finkel, not Shirley Finkel. I can't stand him. Wilder said that. He don't like those guys over there. Why I think that without fans, Wilder versus Fury is not going to. Well, I don't know. It might not happen anyway. I need to start talking up the fight now. Yeah, I agree. Harsha Sankar, he does. He does need to start he needs, fuck all this quiet talk. It's too early for that shit. It's almost November. I don't get that. That's what I don't get. Like the Glovegate shit, okay, it's ridiculous, but I'm gonna let them think that just because they support me type of shit, but not this. This should be addressed. Even if it's a text or post, like, hey, just letting everybody know this. Video would be better. And that gives you confirmation. And that shuts everybody up, really, It stops people from defending and it stops people from blasting, So that's what I feel on that. Anthony Crooks. Wilder will never challenge a Povetkin or White. Let's stop being silly. He's going for the Ortiz trilogy. That would be some shit. I would hate that shit because it would not make sense once again. Why? Luis Ortiz has done nothing to redeem himself. He's not beat any top guy. He's had a couple tune-up fights and then an automatic rematch with Deontay Wilder. Make that shit make sense. It's stupid. And people that ride with me on this channel know I'm a Luis Ortiz fan. Todo cubano. You know? So, but still, he hasn't fought anyone to prove that he's done anything else to warrant a rematch. There, I said it. I think Otto Wallin should get the chance. It's easy to make sense. People think he's no match, but we know he has gained extra levels since Fury. You know, Torrent Blaze, he did gain some respect. A lot of people didn't look at that as a bad thing. They just now know who Otto Wallin is. Nobody knew who Otto Wallin was back then. Fighters knew him because he was a good sparring partner with some good height and a southpaw. I get it. But before then, other than that, no one knew who he was. No one knew. Look at that. Ortiz's birth certificate was written in stone. You know something, guys? This is some crazy shit. Ortiz is becoming that of legend like Chuck Norris. You know what I mean? You know, Chuck Norris has these crazy ass, badass sayings. Ortiz is having those equal sayings like that, but it's just about his age, you know? Ortiz's birth certificate was written in stone. Oh, man. Elijah Johnson, what's up? Counterpunch to you. Gobbler. Wilder has shown for years that he has endurance problems, but he's always held the center of the ring, so it's never been an issue. When someone brought it to Wilder for once, he got exposed. Ooh. Ugh. Counterpunch. You know, I think he got exposed because he didn't have an answer for somebody aggressive like that in that size. Brian Jones, here you go. This is a good one. But didn't Margarito go through being watched while being wrapped and through the commissioners? So what makes you think it couldn't have happened with Wilder's case? Okay, now, I'm glad you said that, Brian Jones. You know, most bullshit channels would have blocked you if you're not talking about the norm. You're honestly doubting, or you're honestly considering the fact of Tyson Fury cheating. Okay, now look, you are absolutely correct. Weren't those guys, those commissioners, a lot of them motherfuckers are old, let's be real, that sit there and, you know, look or observe what's going on with the hand wraps. But Brian Jones, understand this. That's why the opposing team coach, the representative, the person that's selected to be over there, that's their fucking job. You understand? That's their job, to make sure those guys are doing their job. So yeah, sometimes you can slip some slick shit in. Yes, you can. Did it happen? Yes, it did. Now, did it happen with Maidana Mayweather? No, it did not. And that's a totally different story. I'm tired of people trying to connect the two. That is not the case. The case that happened in that particular situation, Nassim Richardson was like, something ain't right about that. Yes, the commissioners, you're right, Brian. They missed it. But Nassim didn't. Why? Because he's an experienced fucking guy that knows what he's doing. And that tells us something. Who was there? JD's. He did not know what he was fucking doing. Andy Lee was over on the side of Wilder. He knew what we was doing. Ex-fighter, cousin to Tyson Fury. He's watching everything to see if everything is going the way it's supposed to. Not sitting back laughing. Not doing that shit. He wasn't doing that. He wasn't paying attention. If I'm the coach. I'm the head coach. JD's is the head coach of Wilder. Why the fuck is he sitting there grinning? I should be looking dead at that shit. That's what Nassim Richardson was doing. He had his little fucking toothpick, you know. He had a little toothpick shit. They don't look like they don't look right. Lo and behold, unravel that shit, and boop, something fell out. Now all hell broke loose. Fight still happened, but that shit had to be investigated. Come to find out, that was plaster of Paris. Shit that gets harder over round after round, and it makes thud to your punches. That's why Cotto's face was looking the way it did in the first fight. So again, Brian Jones, fair play. Yes, it could be the commissioners, but what those channels are not telling you is they're not fucking putting the blame on JD's, which if you're a true honest channel and you believe that Tyson Fury cheated Wilder, you're going to have to understand that how was he able to do it? How was he able to do that? He was able to do that simply because JD's was not doing his job like other experienced trainers were like JD's. Counterpunch, right there. Not sitting back. That's all he was doing. And don't get me wrong, JD's, I think personality-wise, he looks like one of the happiest dudes. That's why I think Wilder likes him. But I don't think he knows what the fuck he's doing as far as boxing. Why do you think Mark Breland's there? Right? Or was. Was there. Okay, so JD's is a guy, again, you want to meet at a bar and hang out with, and he'll tell you a couple stories about some shit, and you'll be there 4 hours drunk. Tell me more. He's that dude. But training or being ahead of someone in a situation like that, he should not have been there. So, Brian, I'm glad you brought that up because that needed to be addressed. Counterpunch. Ex-con, Mike Tyson has the ability to clean up the division. Ooh. We want to see what he does with Roy Jones. And if he does, I still don't want to see it, though, honestly. Because I have too much respect for Mike. And if me saying, yeah, I'd like to see Mike go in there and fight them young dudes. Now, for me saying that, that's for me being selfish. And that's also for me being tactless. Because I can't talk about Roy Jones and a few years ago, okay, way before the Facebook got into the picture. I have over 300 videos on Facebook, you know, and they were just different topics back in the day. You guys can check them out, Counterpunch Boxing News, right? Facebook page. And I was talking about, I was just like, hey, Roy, please stop. You know, I'm tired of you taking that type of punishment, you know what I'm saying? Like, so if Mike is coming back, I shouldn't expect him to do that. Now, could he do it theoretically? Maybe. But I don't want to see him do it or go through that to find the fuck out. I'm not trying to do that. Fight fans, appreciate you, brother. Yeah, it's a great mic, man. I like it. Produce some pretty good sound. Heard Miami Dolphin Stadium will be the first stadium to open in full capacity. Wow, they should. I heard about Florida. And I also hear in Florida, they don't have to wear masks either. So that's cool. I'm going to sign up for your channel. Oh, great, ex-con. Don't worry, it'll be ready. It's under review right now. So as soon as I've done all the stuff, so you'll see the membership button. Click on it. I'm going to start throwing some stuff on there. You know, maybe a Patreon, maybe. We'll see how this membership stuff goes. But, yeah, it's going to be some fun stuff. Are we supposed to be paying for Wilder's boxing lessons? No, you don't. Wilder will only fight Ruiz when Winkle decides to cash out the bum. Yeah, and when this fight happens, Ortiz fights Alexander Flores next. Torn Blaze. Hey, Wallin is looking pretty good. I'd like to see him against Martin or Kalnaki. Yeah, Martin and Kalnaki, those. I think Martin and Kalnaki should have a rematch, honestly. You know what I'm saying? I think, and with the tutelage of Manny Robles, I think Charles Martin has improved greatly, and I love to see him, and I'm really looking forward to his next fight. The heavyweight division is wowing me right now, You know, and look, it's fuck all the top three. Let's just say that. Let's get that out of there. You know, let's look at the fighters that could once like Ruiz. Let's look at Martin. Let's look at Kalnaki. Let's look at Hellenius. Let's look at Jarrell Washington. Let's look at these fighters. You have Usyk and Dubois and Joyce. These are the fights. These are Ejabas in there. Those fighters that I named are going to be the future of boxing. That's it. They're going to be the guys that's going to fight each other, and we need to start promoting those guys. Now, are they the best? No. Is Wilder the best? No. Is Fury the best? No. Is Joshua the best? No. We have to find out who's the best. Right? They're top fighters, but they have to fight each other. That's what we're waiting on. And it seems like, look, we're almost there. We're almost there, and then the shit doesn't happen for whatever reason. You should ask Jones if Wilder going to speak to the media about everything that's going on. Michael Buffer already have. Already have. Absolutely. In the second fight, Wilder, to me, looked shocked. During the ring walk, my opinion is Wilder bottle went. He sees Fury with no fear in his eyes. Wilder wasn't used to that kind of confidence from Fury. Well, I don't think. I think not the confidence. I think he wasn't ready for that type of aggression. What's happening in the Wilder fight? Definitely off because I was watching an interview with Tyson's dad, and he says he doesn't know anything. We don't know anything either, so we're all in the same boat. Ortiz needs a quick KO to get back into the title scene, but we already saw that no one wants to fight this guy still. You know, it is sad though, ain't it? We've got legends and we've got shit and about how old he is and all that, but nobody seems to want to fight him. No one wants to seem to fight him. Just checking a message real quick, guys. Wilder versus Stavern 3 is probably in the making. Big salute from Sweden. So happy to see you live, brother. Big support. Ahmed Taha. Thank you, brother. Fury's TKO Wilder and AJ's TKO Pulev. I think it's a sure thing now. Seems to be. Seems to me there is better fights coming up in the lower weights right now. Keep it up, Kurt. Thank you, brother. Ben Hastings. It hasn't happened yet. I feel like something was in water of Wilder versus Fury 2. I don't know. Dude, if something was in the water bottle and shit like that, things just don't add up. Like, the trilogy is depressing boxing. Big balls. Big balls. Your king is here, Colossus. Yeah, JD's skin and teeth and shit. Yeah, Gucci kid. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, look. And it really the thing is with JD's, you know, JD's is not, nobody's making him accountable. And I don't really know why they're making him accountable because, you know, it's one of those things where they have to consider all options. Because obviously with all the different shit that they made up, was the water spiked and he had to cheat with his gloves, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, and he had to take PEDs, like what the fuck? And then when they found out, okay, that can't be true. They all tested negative. Okay, well, wait a minute. He still could, his shit could be still spiked. And man, fuck all that, dude. It's just too much. It's off, guys. Hey, Kurt, do you think the delusional mindset of Wilder's fans are just a clear reflection of him, like likes attracts likes? Ooh, Kid Caramel. You know something? I surely hope not, but that's what it's looking like. I mean, that shit went viral. But you know, I mean, you have a big channel, like some of those channels are a lot bigger than mine, and you put some shit on there to a certain people that watch that regularly, you know, they're gonna take it for cash value because they heard it first. You know, you're not gonna hear anything, you know, deflecting that, especially if one channel is trying to push that, you know. Has there any has there been any of a boxing fight with more excuses? No, I never seen it. Wilder not trained, released today. Yeah, I heard about that. And actually, I'm actually going to do a video about it, but I got to go to the gym first because I'm not going to be able to work out or anything next week. But stay tuned, guys. It's been a pleasure. You guys been on the chat. Stay tuned for the membership. The second channel launching even further. More content on this channel, of course. The second volume of Teofimo Lopez Sr., that's coming. So, guys, stay tuned. And everyone on the chat has been counterpunched. Peace.